guys. Just wanted to share with you, a lot of people starting out prepping are looking for backup power systems and things to run your appliances in your home and whatnot, keep lights on, keep your phones charged, and things like that. And everybody is kind of knocking solar because it's a little expensive, but you can buy the 12-volt solar panels for relatively cheap. I would recommend, if you're starting out, start off with that. Start off with a 12-volt system. A lot of things can run off of 12 volts. For instance, you can get 12-volt light bulbs from the auto parts store. These are pretty cheap. It's little 12-volt light bulbs, and the sockets are like $2. Get you a regular car battery if that's all you can get, or get you a deep cycle battery if you can. And moving on up, you can go to a lithium iron phosphate, lithium ion battery. Lithium iron phosphate is what I use because they're a little more durable. They last a little while. There's less risk of explosion. Just try and buy everything that you're going to use on 12 volts. And the things that don't run on 12 volts, you'll have to use, an inverter. But the inverter runs on 12 volts, so you're good there. So stuff like refrigerators and things like that. If you can't find a 12-volt unit or one that runs on propane, would be really handy. Then get it to an inverter to run your refrigerator. But TVs, you can buy a TV. Best place to go would be a truck stop. I know it sounds kind of funny, but truck stops sell 12-volt microwaves, 12-volt coffee pots, 12-volt TVs, CB radios, all that stuff that you could buy for mounting in a vehicle, running in a truck. You can get 12 volts, and some of them are 24 volts, which is just two car batteries wired together. So that's easy too. But sticking to 12 volts, you got your 12-volt cameras, security systems. I got these at a garage sale, pretty cheap. But that's what's counting right there. See that? I don't know if you can see that. It runs on 12 volts DC, so that's perfect. So all I did was found me a power adapter, 12-volt power adapter that has the right plug. So now I have a plug that fits this camera that I can wire to a battery. See? You just cut that off, wire it to a battery. Positive, positive, negative, negative, no problem. Now I got a battery, solar-powered battery backup system for my security surveillance. Really good, right? All right, all my tools, my Makita tools and stuff that I got, everything's 12 volts. Usually still 12-volt batteries. So I can charge those up with the same battery chargers and everything else. They all operate off the same principle. They're all 12 volts DC. And if you need to charge your phone, get you one of these guys, and you can plug this in, hook it up to your battery with a adapter, like one of these kind of adapters. This has a socket and it has the alligator clip, or plug it in your car because your car's 12 volts. Matter of fact, all this stuff you're thinking about, you should be thinking about how you could run it off of your car. That'd be ideal. You could put the solar panels with the charge controllers and all that. The charge controllers are like $12-15. $20 for a decent one. They got some cheapies out there on Amazon for $12-15. Anyway, so that's that. I just want to share that with you guys. Also, just look around your house because there's a lot of things that are on 12 volts. If you look at them, like for instance, Wi-Fi routers, a lot of them are on 12 volts DC right there. So I don't have to lose internet if I lose power, because all I have to do is just plug this in to a car battery. Now I've got internet again. If it's available on the line, power goes out for very long. Of course, that's not going to work anymore because the hub, wherever it's at, is going to be down. You can get these lighting strips. These are cool. They sell these on Amazon too for pretty cheap. These run on 12 volts DC. So there again, you can just wire that direct without the little power pack. If you don't have power, you can run it directly off a battery. So let's see what else. I got some other stuff. Like for instance, if you're cold outside, You got one of these heating blankets. Okay, that's cool. Get one that's not a smart controller. You don't want a digital controller. You want one like this. These are cheap too. And you get a couple of these, and you can run these off of a car battery. No problem. They will run. As long as it's just got the digital, it's not digital control, it's just a manual control. It doesn't know what power is going into it. It just turns the power off and on. So there's that. There's several things. A lot of tools like power saws and things like that. You can run off a car battery too. It just depends. I mean, there's household blenders. Oftentimes you can run them off a car battery. They have a different type of electric motor in it. It's a universal motor. Universal motors run on AC or DC, doesn't matter. The voltage basically determines the speed the motor runs. So that's how you can tell. Well, there's a way you can tell. Just check to see if it's a universal motor. And that applies to power tools. It applies to a lot of appliances too. Nothing digital, of course. And unless it comes with like a power pack that has a 12-volt DC on the outside, then you'd be good to go. But if it doesn't, then I wouldn't risk it. You can get water pumps, like something like this, as a backup for your well. If your well needs 230 volts, you could run you a secondary line down there, or have something you can drop down there, and get you a 12-volt pump, something like this here. And they sell these on Grangers, and you could probably find one at a Tractor Supply or some other kind of store like that. And these aren't made to run all the time, but these will pump, a gallon per minute to three gallons a minute or something like that. It just depends on the head pressure. This one in particular will put out 60 psi, so this will pump up quite a ways, But just something small, 12-volt DC again, backup for your water from your well. Anyway, this is what I thought would be good for beginning guys that are just starting out. Stick with a voltage. Don't buy a lot of different things that are all different voltages, and you have to have different batteries. Stick with one type of battery that's real common. I think is the best is the 12-volt battery, because you can find those almost anywhere. They're not super expensive. You can find a wide range of appliances and things that run off of 12 volts. And for me, it's just a general universal thing that you can use starting out, and then once you get established and you start buying like larger solar panels and things like that, then you can look at going 24 volts. There's some advantages to going to 24 volts. It doesn't take as much amperage. There's a lot of other advantages. Things seem to last longer. The inverters don't get as hot because they're only going from 24 volts to 120 instead of from 12 to 120. So there's different things to it. I mean, but for me, I like to keep it basic. This works. I don't have any problems with it. 12 volts has been great for me, and there's a lot of things on 12 volts. So that's pretty much all I had for it. I just wanted to put that out there for people that are just starting out, and trying to figure out how to get this stuff put together. This is really a good place to start, because on 12 volts, you can use things like this, charge your phone, right? You got your USB, and you can put your phone chargers for the car in there. Everything you buy at an auto parts store, or at Walmart and automotive, or any other big retail store in the automotive department, is all going to be 12 volt stuff, And then of course go to the truck stops, see what they got. All that stuff's going to run on 12 volts or 24 volts. So it's a win situation. You get your comms, you get your surveillance systems, you get your power backup systems, your well water backup systems, your internet connections, also do comms, I guess, and your lighting. You can always do the little LED car lights. They run on 12 volts, no problem. You could get USB lights, run them off of a car charger for your phone. That's always an option. But 12 volts is the basic starting point, I would say. Car battery, inverter, solar charger, and a solar panel. You're looking at under $1,000 to run a bunch of things in your house. Most everything you could run. not all at the same time, but you could run almost everything in your house other than the main air conditioner and the heater. So, I mean, this is be a good place to start. Hope you all enjoyed that.